What up, YouTube? Today's gonna be a little bit of a different video today. Thought I'd share a story with you about how I got screwed over when I went to work the other day. Stay tuned. Alright, so the other day, had a pretty easy day to do at work. Had nothing but batteries to do, right? And I think I only had 2 of them. So it was supposed to be a relatively easy day. I was gonna go do a couple batteries and then I was gonna come home. Everything was gonna be good. So I did the first battery and I'm sitting there thinking like, man, this is gonna be a quick, easy, you know, whatever. I guess I should have paid more attention to the actual vehicle that I was gonna be working on. It was a Ford C-Max and it's the hybrid model. Ended up taking a lot longer than just your average battery, that's for sure, because it's in the back and you have to take a whole bunch of stuff out to get to it, right? So anyway, did that battery ultimately without any issues, and you know, it just took a little longer than I wanted it to. So we go to do the second battery, and that battery, it's at a customer's house, and the snow, you know, is still all over the ground. As you can kind of see all around me, snow has definitely melted away. So anyways, I pull up to the customer's location, and this battery's on some Subaru, I believe, so it was a much easier battery than the first one. So I pull up and I notice that I basically only have a couple options for parking choices. The road here was one of those long, windy roads, up and down hills, lots of turns, and it's actually a relatively busy street. So my first option was to park on that busy street. Didn't really feel comfortable doing that. So my next option was to pull into their driveway, which with all the snow on the ground, I really couldn't even tell if they had a single or a double wide driveway. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So I ended up choosing the driveway because it seemed like the safer alternative for me to park. And turns out I pulled about halfway into their neighbor's yard, and the other half of the van was of course on the driveway. The driver's side of my van was on the driveway, and I pulled in, still lots of snow, right? So I get out and I do the battery replacement for the customer, and turns out after I get done, as I had kind of feared and suspected when I first pulled up, I actually got stuck in the customer's driveway. But it gets so much worse than that. So the customer had some kitty litter, and they also had a few pieces of plywood, right? So I tried to use the plywood to get out of the spot that I was in. Unfortunately, it never was able to get underneath the tire. The passenger front tire was the one that was stuck, and ended up basically just digging a rut into the neighbor's yard, unfortunately. Couldn't get the wood underneath the vehicle's tire to move, so we tried using kitty litter. Unfortunately, that didn't work either. And their driveway was kind of like downhill a little bit, and so like when I pulled in, you know, I was pretty much screwed at that point. So anyway, at the bottom of their driveway there was a section that had kind of cleared out. There was no snow really, and so I was like, all right, let me try to pull down all the way. They ended up moving their vehicle, so I was like, let me try to pull down all the way, because I feel like I'd have a much better shot moving forward than backward, right? So they moved their vehicle for me, and I end up pulling all the way down the driveway, and that actually just made it worse, unfortunately. I started spinning tires, and you know, I could just kind of smell the burnt rubber after a while, and my van was just kind of swaying side to side just like that, you know, wasn't really getting anywhere. And so ultimately I ended up having to call a damn tow truck. It really hurts and sucks when the mobile mechanic's vehicle breaks down. Technically it wasn't broke down, but it's basically the same damn thing in my opinion, and it sucks. So, called the tow truck, guy shows up, he ends up just pulling me up onto his flatbed, pulling out into the street, and then letting me back off, which I was, moving the gears for him and stuff, and I must say, that was a little bit sketchy getting pulled up onto a tow truck. I mean, my vehicle was whoop, I mean, it was really like vertical there, and I was sitting in the driver's seat. Started from sitting down and went to basically standing up when he pulled me up there. So that was a little sketchy for sure, but I'm safe. We made it through it. We got out of that driveway, thankfully. But what sucks, ended up costing me $105, which tow truck bill, that's actually not horrible. But these jobs that I do batteries on, a lot of times I'm only making about 50 bucks in profit after doing these batteries. So I did 2 batteries that day and made about 100 bucks, but it cost me a $105 to get pulled out of the driveway. So unfortunately, sometimes as a mobile mechanic, when you're out there working, you can actually go to work and lose money. So that really sucks. And so anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a couple reasons. One, I thought I would share that story with you guys if it's entertaining to anyone. But also, I wanted to try out my new selfie stick that I just got. Thought it would be a good video to come out, take a little walk in the backyard, do a little bit of exercise, test this bad boy out, make a YouTube video all at the same time for you. Something I've been thinking about doing for a few days. I just hadn't really got around to it. All that, huge snow we've had here recently just had me wanting to stay inside, to be completely honest with you. I do not do well in the cold. So anyway, I hope my story was entertaining to you, and my pain can be your entertainment. Anyways, please go ahead and like the video. That'll help me out a whole bunch with the YouTube algorithm. If you've ever had a similar circumstance happen to you, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear some of your stories as well, because I'm sure some of us are all in the same boat. Also, if you have not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're aiming to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Please help me achieve that goal, and I'll love you forever. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the video, and I will see you next time.